welcome to Unleash Your Inner Goldilocks, How to Get It Just Right. Thank you so much for joining us for a insightful and deeply meaningful conversation. We're going to continue on our theme of education and the importance of education and how education levels the playing field and gives opportunities in communities, societies, and in the lives of individuals who need the playing field level. It truly sets up the stage to dream, achieve, and truly go out there and accomplish something beyond what you thought possible. So as we get started, I would love for us to welcome Anita, Miss Anita from Mopan Technical High School in Belize. Yes, it's a continuation of the conversation that we had last week with Principal Katie. Anita, welcome to Unleash Your Inner Goldilocks.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here and being part of this session that you're having.
My pleasure. As we get started, talk to us a little bit about why you became a teacher and what motivates you and energizes you to come to school day after day to do what you do with such passion.
Well, prior to being a teacher, I used to work because I'm an agriculture teacher. I'm an agronomist. So I used to work at the Ministry of Agriculture. It's a government institution. And I really had, the area where I was assigned to usually was to work with youths and elderly mostly to help them with backyard gardening and trainings and organic production and so forth. So while I was there, I got I could say the love of teaching. And since I'm from Benke and I used to travel to go to my work, the principal knew me. So when there was a vacant post, he told me, I want you to come here because you're a female teacher and I want to have a female agriculture teacher here in the staff because the majority were male teachers. So I took the challenge and then I resigned where I was working and I started working at Mopan. My inspiration has always been to teach. I enjoy teaching. I can say it comes naturally. And especially in my area, which is a science field, we don't have much females. And I noticed the first year when I was there, how the young ladies, some of them looked up to me, and that gave me more motivation because some of them were like, Miss, you're the teacher for agriculture. Like they were surprised to see a female teacher in agriculture and me teaching them, going out there, working with them in the field and showing them different, things that they should know in agriculture. And to me, it feels like they felt inspired in some way. I had one young lady that I saw her just like last 2 weeks. She came, she's already a graduate. She graduated like for the past 2 years. She came in and she started to cry when she saw me. And I was like, why you're crying? You're going to make me cry. And she's like, because I admire you so much. And I'm glad to see you that you keep on doing this, inspiring others, because her dream was always to become an agronomist. And she just came for her diploma because she was enrolled in a university and she was making it, her dream come true. And it took her 2 years, she said, and she was already getting frustrated doing nails. And that was not her passion. And I told her, that it sometimes, dreams take a little time to come true.
Absolutely.
But that I'm so happy that, she was able to enroll in a university and continue her education. Well, to me, my inspiration are my students. That is number one. Getting up every day, looking forward to go, and just be with them, interact with them. That is what keeps me at my job and keeps me inspired.
That is absolutely beautiful. And certainly in a country like Belize, where we have the opportunity to produce and grow our own food, it truly helps the economy, not just in the country, but also our home, right? We're able to better manage our budget. We're able to have a better quality of life if we're not going out and buying everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing the fact that you are teaching children,
Mm-hmm.
not just to go become agronomists, but even if they pursue other fields, you can still grow your food. There's
Mhm.
nothing more important than the lesson we learned from COVID.
Mhm.
When everything is shut down, when we can grow our own food, we're going to
Mhm.
be. So talk to us about the sustainability and the economic prosperity that comes with growing our own food because it's healthy, it is economical, you have a healthy hobby, and you get activity, exercise. Emotionally and physically, it is healthy. Talk to us a little bit about how you bring that into the classroom.
Well, we usually have practical sessions. Our classes are theory and practical. So the hours that we count in the field, that's when we interact with each other. So it's a lot of team building there, learning to work with one another, a lot of teamwork. You have some students that do not like to be out there, especially if the sun is hot. And I try to show them, tell them, what, we should be grateful that every day that we go buy our rice and beans that we love so much, that there are farmers out there that are willing to do it with love for us. And that is the reason why we take you out here in the field so that you can appreciate the hard work of our farmers and try to make this country better. Because if we take you out here, it's for you to try to improve the lives even of our farmers. So it should be a motivation for them. Some of them love to be out there. And I think it serves as well as therapy because some of them, when they go out there, they start to work with the soil or work with the animals, and you can see how their mood changes a lot. How they're, well, if they look like they were bored or frustrated, then they start to laugh and, enjoy. So I think that little part that they share when they're out there, it brings up a lot of their, mood and how to interact with their classmates. They also like to take the initiative, like, Miss, I know about this. This is what my dad or my grandpa used to do. And I let them, take the lead and, guide us. Well, we can do the way that your grandpa used to do it. Let's make it traditional if that's the way that you learn how to do it. And so most of them love to take the initiative and I let them do it. Like, I'll sometimes play like, I don't know. Oh, wow, you know about it. Then I don't know much, then teach us. And so they love that. So, and when it comes to my female students, my girls, they are into it a lot. And I like to see how they try to, without, they don't have the fear. We have like a tiller machine at school, and the boys usually handle it because of their strength. And we have some girls that are like, Miss, if they can do it, we can do it, And I'm like, no, I don't want you to get hurt. And they're like, make them help us, but we want to try it as well. So they try to challenge as well when they see certain things, that when they're out there. So it gets me inspired as well because like I tell them, I want to see more of our female students in it doesn't have to be agriculture, but in science related careers, so that they're not afraid that, they can be out there. I tell them, you guys could be researchers. Being out there, it doesn't mean that it has to be males. It could be females out there in the field. And well, so far, I think they enjoy that little part that they have, that opportunity they have to be out there. They love it.
Beautiful. And I love the fact that they are challenging you to break
Mm-hmm.
the gender stereotype. And Belize is one of those countries where the gender roles and the gender norms are so set and
Mm-hmm.
it's culturally ingrained. But the
Yes.
young girls want to break it because they don't want to be put in a box, right?
Mhm.
So it
Yes.
is so beautiful that you're allowing them to, and therefore they're going to grow up to be better young adults. And it's
Mm-hmm.
good for the boys to see girls can do this because they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to grow up into manhood saying, oh, girls don't do that. Girls
Mm-hmm.
can do, and we can help them. And so now you're creating an environment of partnership. So I absolutely love that. Now,
Thank
as you go into the classroom and do this kind of practical teaching, because this is a technical high school, very different from all textbooks, all in the classroom kind of learning, how are you seeing children's minds opening up? Because children learn better in a practical, lived experience than theory and just books. How are you seeing them actually getting excited and opening up and embracing a way of life? Because you're teaching them to live.
Yes. Well, I will give you an example that really made me so happy to see. It was during the pandemic. Um, when we had to do online classes, and I had some students getting in contact with me every day because they started their backyard garden, and they were like, Miss, my dad is gonna help me do a garden. And they started to do it at home. So that made me feel very proud of them, because I thought to myself that I there's something that they have really liked about it. So they're doing it at home. And that's the point, that what we want. We want to teach them how to grow their food, and make them teach their parents, and share, that same knowledge around, so that people can adapt those practices. So I had a lot of students um, sending me messages saying, Miss, how can I do this? How can I plant this? Look at my garden. This is what I did with my dad or with my mom. And I was so happy to see that, because I know that it has impacted them in their lifestyles, and they're taking it home as well. So it's something positive. Um, Also, I have had some students who want to pursue the career, and they will come to me and say, can you write me a recommendation, because I want to enroll to the university, UBCF in Central Farm, that teaches agriculture, because they're interested in the career, and that makes me happy as well. Um, and there's a lot of things that they, especially I have some students that come from farming communities, and they will go and they will, come back and tell me, Miss, I was with my dad or my granddad at the farm, and I told them about this that you said, and or we were looking at our animals, and I noticed that some of them, for example, were dealing with anemia in sheep, and they practical in their own with their one student I had, he went to do the practical with his grandfather. So I see that the impact is not just stays in school, it goes back, and they, go on with their family, or maybe could be with their neighbors or someone that they are related to, and try to implement what they have learned. Um, I will tell you about experience that I had yesterday. I went to give a little presentation at a health fair, um, eh, at this company, and I was approached by several persons that work in the company, and they were like, "Oh, Mupan is my alma mater." And I remember at Mupan that we used to do agriculture, and how we used to love it. And they're telling me, I'm gonna retire. A couple of them, like three of them, told me that they're about to retire, and they're gonna get into farming, because they remember everything that Mr. Ball, which was a past teacher that has retired a long time ago, taught them. And one of them, which was a woman, she told me, I have my farm, and I do this, I do that. This is what I learned at Mupan, and I keep doing it. And to me, I saw that even though they don't further their careers in the field, they come back and apply what they have learned. So to me, that is something great. And I told them, wow, it's so good to hear about this, and how it has inspired you to be part of Mupan, and all the things, the technical subjects that you have learned. Well, that I believe is something great and powerful that Mupan is instilling in their students.
I love that about the Mopan Technical High School. I have had the honor, pleasure, and joy in spending time with all of you, and I cannot wait to continue to build that. How does it feel to be a part of a high school where, while everybody is different, everybody has a shared passion? And with that passion, you're able to come together. You're able to continue to work and build a team that puts the students first, that puts the school first, and truly is uplifting and a role model for the community. How does it feel to be a part of that team and still, in spite of your differences, build something beautiful?
Um, well, I feel like there's a lot of opportunities at Mupan. And like you said, we keep building each other and trying to improve ourselves and trying to improve the institution. I think the institution itself has a really can have a big impact within the community, because it's one of the first high schools that was, developed, and it's has created a lot of impact in students. So being part of the staff, like I say, and I usually tell my my coworkers is that uh, we come from different backgrounds, but that doesn't mean we can get along. I tell them I don't even get that perfectly. You know, have a great communication with my brothers and sisters. I love them to death, but there always will be things that we don't agree on. And that is part of being a family. And when we're there at school, and I always tell it to my coworkers, it's our home, it's our family that we're dealing with. So it's kind of difficult sometimes to have the patience because you're, you know, the stress of work and everything. But at the end of the day, I think that we are a family, despite the differences that we might have. I think we, as as a staff, try our best to give everything to our students in return. And I can say I admire some teachers there that go above and beyond for their students. And I say to myself, those that have dedicated more than 30 years in the institution, I see why they have stayed and why they got to love Mopan, because to stay so long in a place, it means that you really love to be there and that you have, you know, created a bond with the place. So to me, it is an area where you can feel the love, I can say. But um, it does need more, what can I say? It needs more improvement when it comes to having us being more comfortable. I'm not saying about personal relationships, but with the institution itself, the resources. That is what one thing of the things that gets teachers frustrated, lack of resources. But I know it's not the school's fault. But even though we have those limitations and those setbacks, we try our best to, you know, um, make things work. So I believe that it makes us resilient. It gets us frustrated a little bit, but at the end of the day, we, like, you know, brush it off, and we try to work with what we have and try to provide for our students and share the love.
And it is absolutely my hope as we continue to have these conversations and showcase what Mopan Technical High School is doing. We can get our audience engaged, maybe even do a fundraiser, figure out ways to get the necessary resources, bring people like Robin, who's here, into the school to help us bring different perspectives. There's so much we can do as a larger community that is committed to schools like Mopan Technical High School, the children, the community. So thank you so much, Anita, for bringing your love, your passion, and your tenacity into this and having this conversation. I would love to open this up to our live audience and see what thoughts they have, what questions they have, and truly make this global.
Yes, yes, it will be great for Mopan. And I'm open to any opportunities for our students because most of our students come from low income families. And I believe that is the inspiration that we as teachers have because we know the need and the potential of our students. And that's why we stay. And that's why we try to work despite the all the negativity or all the lack of resources that we have or limitations. We stay and we try to work it out because we know our students deserve it. um we have some students that are so passionate about getting educated, and it is something that makes you feel like, you know, you're somewhere where you need to be, and that is where you know, God has put you there to be able to help the students. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, Robin.
I am loving what I'm hearing and what an inspiring work that you're doing with these children, learning these very practical and important and useful and transferable skills. And I'm really loving that it's very hands-on and learning how to actually do these things, not just reading about them in a book. And one of the things that struck me, I was reading a report. This is a report from an organization in Tanzania, and they were teaching people, adults, better business skills, better ways to run their businesses, etc. And the report came back saying, we've spent millions of dollars. They've learned the skill, so they know what to do, but they're just not applying it. And it came down to their mindset. Did they believe they could do it? And could they break out of well, this is how we've always done it? And they found that the ones who were being successful just had a different, like a what we call now a growth mindset, and an abundance mindset, instead of a scarcity and a fixed mindset. This is how we've always done it, so this is how we'll keep doing it, even though I know these other new ways to do. So my question is, what sort of how do you help the youth come to believe that, come to feel more confident in themselves, that they can actually make a difference in the world, that they can actually, this education will actually help them, etc. How do you deal with the mindset part of the education, in addition to the I was going to say book learning, but you obviously do more than just book learning. But how do you deal with that mindset, that confidence that, yes, I can rise above my circumstance?
Like I mentioned, we have some students that come from different farming backgrounds. And what we do is we make them take the lead. They might not have much experience, and we try to make them feel that what they know is important, and that they can make their ideas, their knowledge can also make an impact and can also, be applied. So that is one way that we try to motivate them, because some of them will come and say, oh, I know about this. For example, livestock is one of their strengths. And they will say, Miss, I know how to vaccinate sheep. I have done it with my grandfather, or I have done it with my dad, or I have done it at the farm. And I will tell them, well, do you have an idea how to do it? And we try to listen to what they know. And then we'll say, well, you will take the lead. You will be the one doing this. And you see that then afterwards, they're the ones that are always there trying to take care of the animals, trying to see what's wrong with them. Because I feel like you open that door, that what they know is useful. And even though they might not know everything, they're there learning and paying attention. And then their initiative starts to grow. So that is one way that we do it. Another, for example, we have a lot of, well, in my case, I try to do a lot of after classes activities with them, let's say clubs. From the beginning, I used to have a club where we used to prepare seedlings, and I used to tell them, you know what, these things that you learn here are valuable, because you can go home and do it, and even create a business of this, this experience that you're learning, or this task that you're learning. And some of them get interested in it, and some of them are willing to stay after classes and learn, and then go back home and try to apply it. I have had a couple of students that will go and do it at home, and their parents will send me pictures saying, you know what, this is what my student is doing. My son or my daughter is doing. Thank you for teaching them. Or some of them even started because we used to rear rabbits at Mupan. They start their own rearing at home and selling bunnies and so forth. So I feel that there's something that really captures them, and they take it back. It could be the time that we spend with them, because most of them are trying to find something that someone will sit with them and show them and spend that time, and so that they feel that what they want to learn or what they are interested in is really important. So I think it's something that has been working and will continue working, because we still have small clubs and we do small activities with them. I might go maybe a Saturday with them and deal with plants. And those that are really interested will take their weekend or their Saturday and will go to the school and try to deal with those things that are needed.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all you do, Anita and Robin. What an excellent question. I absolutely love the work Mopan Technical High School is doing. I look forward to continuing to having these conversations, Anita, with you, with Principal Katie, and working with all of you, because the work you are doing is truly impactful, not just for the children, but for our entire community. And thank you for doing what you do. And to our audience out there, look for ways to support the teachers and schools that are truly creating an opportunity to level the playing field. Give our youth an opportunity to think differently, be creative, live a practical life, and truly add value to the society we live in. And to all the teachers out there, thank you for being you. Thank you for doing what you do. And we need you. And do not hesitate to reach out and let us know how we can be of service to help you bring out the best in you. And to all the schools out there, keep doing what you do. Make education practical. Make education empowering and impactful, because you are building our future. And we're all committed to participating and making our future better than what it is today.